Hey Kingsman, welcome back to the battlefield. We have another Borodino map. Now we have seen this map several times. Gonna see it again because this battle I was sent guaranteeing a amazing replay. So, for those of you who do not remember Borodino, it was during the French incursion into Russia, Napoleon invading Russia, and I think it was September 7th, maybe it was August 26th. Of 1812, Napoleon met 70 miles or so outside of Russia. The Russians trying to stop France from getting into Moscow. He threw up some hasty fortifications, which we've kind of got. You see some kind of fortifications here set up. I think they even have mines set over here to kind of stop the French from attacking. But they tried to stop Napoleon in his tracks. And the artillery, at first, the fighting kind of seesawed back and forth, but the French artillery eventually began to win the day. Then Napoleon, if he had committed his 20,000 Imperial Guard and 10,000 other fresh troops, it was something around there, they could have possibly won, but he was afraid to. And basically, it became a ceasefire that Napoleon claims victory, but it was a very indecisive victory. It's a very narrow margins, and it actually exhausted his army. So that's kind of the premise of this battle. As you can see, we got a lot of Russia. This one Russia, we have Uvarov, who is bringing all cavalry. He's bringing a lot of dragoons, very, very excellent units of dragoons, as well as some heavies. You have a backup army, Duktorov and Tukharov, and I'm not even going to try to say it. I started doing my research, but I kind of spaced on it already, and I can't pull it up at this moment. But anyway, the Russians are going to be attacking or defending as France invades. Now, you did see that there is Poland here. You do have the Grand Army. We see some cav already getting charged. They were trying to maybe scout out the position, and the French just yeeted all over them. We do have artillery opening up over here where Davout is at. So Davout over there, we have, this is an interesting looking army. Jean-Louis Reynard. Of course you have, is Napoleon here? And Murat is here, so that's going to be a concern. Bringing a lot of the heavy cav, the cuirassiers. You do have some hussars already scouting out. And as you can see, Russia is forming up, kind of setting up in this area. They got heavy cav presence in the area. You got a massive army for Tormasov. I don't know. Yeah, something like that. We have artillery moving up as well. Like I said, guys, they had mines here just in case they tried flanking them going around. They'd at least blow up someone. But they have a massive army setting up here. And they're going to be pushing the flank on this hill. They have a... My goodness, look at the views. But France is already trying to push back any scouting parties, making sure the Russians don't know where they're at. That's going to kind of be a problem if the Russians want to be able to see where this French army is. Although now the dragoons are pushing up here on the Russian side. So they're going to be rushing in, charging some chasseurs cheval. Easy victory for the dragoons. Push them back. Now over here, the French are making a push here with the Grand Armée. They're going to be met by Tutorov, or Tutorkov, something like that. They all have an ov to the end of their name, but they're going to have some light infantry, grenadiers, and line infantry, with as well as I believe their infantry general, who's light infantry. They're all going to be trying to hold the French from crossing over and flanking, while this main force is going to fight in the center here. Oh, we do have a lot more cav going in. I'm sorry, I missed it. I thought that was it, but my goodness, a lot of French now committing here from both sides. We have the Guard going in. France is going to throw in even more. This is becoming a mosh pit of just combat here, as dragoons are rushing in to combat hussars. Hussars are rushing in with some chasseurs cheval. Artillery kind of being the focal point of a Russian attack, driving back 3-pounders. They did get driven back here. And now, as you can see, Russia is going to fall back their cav and push up their infantry. Infantry going to be able to pour the fire in, and this French army is in danger of being outflanked at this point in time. My goodness, the fire from these infantry driving back the cuirassiers. We do have a lot of Polish artillery, horse artillery, and I didn't see what the other one was, but there's infantry back here. So Russia, I think, just wanted to get the high ground, which they did get. Artillery setting up here. They have the earthworks. They have the gentle slope of the hill in their favor. They still have this 3-pounder, managed to save it. And they're actually going to fall back. France advanced in force across this river, and now Duktorov is going to have to peel off troops to help out Duktorov. I don't know if they're going to be able to hold, or if this is going to hold the high ground. LOC is right over here. So Borodino being right here, obviously in French control at this point in time. We do have some friendly fire taking out some dragoons, unfortunately. This is some 12-pounders for both sides. That is very nasty. So I think France is going to have their work cut out for them if they're going to try pushing against Russia. Russia has a very solid position here. They have the town mirroring their right flank. They have a lot of infantry set up, a lot of cav in the back, and artillery setting up to blast the infantry. Now, we do have artillery set up in these earthworks here.
We have killed their general, sir.
And it looks like their Ulani are going to get charged by some Ulani of the Russians, and it looks like maybe Poland pushed out a little bit too much, was a little too aggressive with their cav, wasn't paying attention. Looks like actually Russia is going to just hold right here, hold these earthworks, and just hope for the best on this side. I mean, there is an army sitting right here. You can see the French artillery in the forest. They're going to be putting down some crazy good fire. Russia is pushing up here, getting very aggressive. But they are going to have to be careful because they will get outflanked by Poland, who is pushing over on their left flank. And they don't have a lot there at this point in time. France is kind of in a predicament, though. If they can't meet up with their ally on either side, that's going to be a problem. As you see, though, France is pushing up here. Some cav maybe trying to attack, drive back some of the infantry here, but these are some very thick units of infantry. All the better for artillery to blast. Although now it looks like Russia is actually going to be falling back. I'm not sure if they're trying to totally reform. I don't know if you want to lose these earthworks, but they're going to be in risk of getting this part of the force getting outflanked. Now over here, a lot of cav rushing in on both sides. France tried to go for some infantry there. It did not work very well for them, and now it looks like actually Russia's going to push up some dragoons as, nope, they're going to get some counter charges going in against the Lancers with some dragoons. That is going to go very well. Some artillery going to definitely be caught up, and the dragoons are going to smash their infantry. I don't see France having a lot of cav, being very defensive. We do have more cav that was over here getting charged by some chevaliers, I think. Prince Clement, chevaliers, yep. So if you look on the mini-map, Russia is bending over here, but advancing over here. Now, they're not advancing over here at this point in time, which is very wise. They are pushing a lot of cav. They're trying to get some really good cav charges. They're pulling cav back, rushing them into their square. Excellent use of that, and they're going to countercharge some more of the Polish Lancers here. They're making a very good push here, guys. Very good in the center. France is falling back, but I don't see Poland advancing at this point in time. They're kind of sitting back. They're resting easy. They have a very good position with their artillery spikes set up to defend that. Over here, some cav kind of was going back and forth, fighting in the tree line. Artillery did get charged by the Russians, and it was successful, but France is now attacking here. Man, there's too much happening, guys. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get it all. There was an artillery that got charged by this Lancer cav. Russia was unable to really do any solid defense against it. Now, you see a lot of Russian reserves, but France is being wise in joining up with their allies, sort of moving in conjunction with them. And Russia actually may be falling back from these earthworks, because that's going to force France to actually have to go around one way or the other, or try to rush up there. At this point in time, though, it looks like actually Russia is going to push some troops forward on this side, maybe flank part of this Grand Army. On this side, as Russia, I would not push this.
Sir,
This is going to turn into a killing zone. I mean, if you push into this, you're going to be hit by multiple units of Polish and Russian, or French forces, excuse me. This is a little better of a side. You have probably the number advantage. As you can see, Russia is holding, they have some grenadiers, line infantry holding this hill. Artillery sitting right here, just flattening a lot of French line infantry. So long as you hold defensively on this hill, you have cav to defend your artillery, you can force an engagement on this side, which is exactly what's happening. They are now advancing, attacking this part of the French army on the left flank here. And massive flank. As you see, a lot of infantry on this side pushing up. They're going to totally surround this French army. I would fall back as this French army. Here we go, though. France is advancing. We do have some infantry grenadiers doing a bayonet charge on the flank of France, sending in cav as well. And actually, they formed a square at the worst possible moment here, as they're going to break easily against some grenadiers just going to bayonet charge. You just don't want to be in a square against bayonets. Over here now, the line battle, Russia falling back. Russia is advancing over here, though. I would not be advancing here. This is not a good thing. They have some good quality units here. I would fall back to the hill. You have an artillery advantage. They have their artillery advantage right now. They're going to be shooting to the side. And actually, I think some cav may be charging the... No. They're trying to force the Polish to do a counter cav charge here. But over here, it's getting real juicy as there's a lot of infantry and cav engaging right now on both sides. Russia now trying to disengage their guard grenadiers. Maybe they'll come back. They are broken. But France maybe is not going to let them push back. They, of course, you can see Russia has formed up. France kind of taking advantage of them falling back to maybe take this hill here. A lot of cav now pushing up on the flanks. This is looking very nasty, disorganized, and just a mess. We had some dragoons now engaging French cav and Polish cav. They're now going to fall back, and this has just become a melee, not really any standing line battles here, but there's a lot of reserves still for Russia. Now, Russia did do some cav charges, got rid of some of the skirmishers, but now they're going to disengage and maybe disengage their whole line here. I don't know if they're wanting to stand in a line cav or in a line fight, volley fire against France, but right now they are definitely doing that. Over here, it's kind of looking a little touch and go here. Russia is starting to suffer a little bit to the volleys of the French infantry. Right here, actually, France is falling back. They do not want to engage on this flank. They have the high ground here, so they possibly are going to... They have guns up here on the hill, so maybe they're just trying to let these infantry get closer so they can start shooting on the side, evening the odds of winning on that side. Russia did disengage here. They have artillery that is shooting. They're probably going to start going for these cuirassiers for Murat. I'm assuming these are Murat's cuirassiers. Cuirassier. Maybe. We'll see. But now it's just a line fight, not a lot of cav. They're kind of sitting back. Over here, they were being really active and maybe still being active. We have some hussars rushing in, maybe going for the artillery piece here, as there is a 6-pounder, and then they have the horse artillery here. They're going to be met by the Russians, but it may be too late, as France seems to have a very decisive charge. They may take out this artillery piece. France only has 3 units here on this hill. I would push up more or don't push up at all, because these guys are just going to be isolated. They're getting shot by multiple units of Russian infantry here. Now, on this corner, we do have some cuirassiers who are going to be making a very, very bloody charge and just cutting up the Russian infantry. I mean, they can't really do a whole lot against some cuirassiers. They are badly bloodied, weakened. They're, of course, going to send in some dragoons. I see a lot of dragoons for the Russians going in here. They did only break 1 French or Russian infantry, but you can see it's kind of going back and forth. The cav being very active in this battle here. No one wanting to really back down, and now the counter charge going for some infantry that cannot form the square. Russia is falling back here as they were getting outflanked. And look at this. Look at what's in the trees. This is bad. Hopefully these guys are in a form square because they're getting charged from the trees. A sneak attack here. Sneaking through the trees.
Our men are running, sir.
And these guys can't form square on this side, so they may have to pull some cav and try to save their lines that's fallen back. On this side, it's just, once again, cav from both sides. We have some dragoons going against France. You see mass breakage from France on this side as the dragoons kept pushing up for Russia, pushing back any cav that France sent against them. So the French cav is definitely getting defeated in the center here and on this side, being very, very decisive on the right, as they're breaking a lot of infantry, but they did finally break against possibly some Russian line infantry. And Russia is just going to try to hold this line here. I'm assuming that the French are going to try to go around, maybe outflank them, or just advance through the trees. You know, force the whole line to fall back here. Now you see that this hill has kind of gone back and forth. Now Russia has the hill back again, and they're going to be pushing up on this hill. France trying to maybe stop them. And they're just trying to fight for the flank at this point. They're using their artillery probably very well, punishing the Russians for even trying to advance on this flank. And this battle is still a little indecisive. Anyone could make it, although the Russians are sitting pretty good with their cav. But now you can see, once again, falling back. It's just been back and forth. And now cuirassiers rushing over. Infantry need to be very cautious here. They are going to form square with the units that can. And yeah, this is gonna turn bad very fast. The cuirassiers need to get out of there. They've been running against a square. Now the question is France going to push and attack? They need to push with Poland if they are, because if they don't, then this is just going to be a failed attack. And then they're going to attack, and it's going to be a failed attack because the Russians are going to be able to support themselves. This is kind of feel like historically accurate. Battle going back and forth, no one really winning yet. And maybe if you look at the Polish as the Imperial Guard, no, I'm just kidding. It'd be cool if they brought Imperial Guard. But you can see that Poland actually probably is pushing through here. I'm hoping that they're going to go all the way to here and hit this mine. I would love to see that, especially with some cav. But Russia is a little bit weak on this flank. I mean, they are already been engaging in a fight with France, and now they're going to be taking on Poland. Poland going to be pushing for this hill. As you can see, that slight slope, not for them necessarily, but they have maybe the numbers. See, this battle has already been fought so hard. I mean, you can see where the Russian line was, where the French line was, and now France seems to be pushing. They are being very aggressive now. I'm loving to see this aggressive play, moving with their allies, pushing up. They're not going in piecemeal. Now, maybe I don't know if this French player should push up or not, because Russia still has a very strong hill. Now, Russia did push up, I think, some of their reinforcements over to this side. Maybe not. Maybe this is their reserves, but they do have reserves. Yeah, they have plenty of reserves here to fight the French, and I don't think the French see them yet. They are hidden. These guys are not, but all of these guys are definitely hidden. So, it's anyone's game still. You see that there are some Russian cav sitting in the back here, just in case there is a push by the Polish and French. Ooh. I'm going to keep an eye on this, because I think these cuirassiers probably are going to push into this mine. But Russia is going to fall back. Maybe it's wise to set up on this next hill. We do have some cav charging up here. Massive cav charge here, cuirassiers. Dragoons going in. We have some infantry here who have formed square, some sappers. So France needs to be very cautious here with their cuirassiers. You can see they are attacked in the rear. Russia may not have the best quality, but they have quantity, and they're able to outflank and demoralize the French cav here. All right, I don't know if these guys can see the mine, but I'm going to keep an eye on that, guys. I do not want to miss that.
A glorious victory, sir, is soon to be yours.
So Russia's actually been able to disentangle himself from that fight. France still pushing. That's what you need to do. You need to keep pushing. You can't let them retreat and reform. If you let them retreat and reform, then it's going to be just as hard as before to defeat them. I think they may see it, but anyway, they're going through these trees. I would push up an infantry. Just start volleying them, because it'll take them a while to actually push through the forest and charge you. We can see Russia has definitely consolidated, except for over here, where they're having a couple infantry just kind of holding back. They have artillery set up right over here, or going to have artillery set up right over there. They are still holding these heights. The fight has raged back and forth for this high ground. Kind of a reabout of sorts. Now look at this flanking force flanking force has potential. With Poland not pushing as aggressively, this flanking force for Russia on this side has potential to swing around and totally crush the French advance. They have artillery set up, horse artillery, 6-pounders, starting to really shoot up this French line. And they are just falling back, letting the artillery be punishing. More 6-pounders over here. And this Russian infantry is going to push up on the side, as they do not want to get outflanked by a bunch of cav. Maybe all the French cav is over here. Who knows? There's actually some cav way over here. Which is why you always leave your cav to defend your artillery. Although maybe they're not paying attention, because this is a stroke of luck here. Cavalry is just going to wreck these artillery pieces, maybe even take out these 8-pounders, and that's a lot of gold lost right there. These 12-pounders going to be huge. Yep, the chasseurs of all going to charge them. They may not be able to take out this other artillery piece, but they did the damage. They did the damage. Russia is definitely losing on this side here. They're getting outshot by the French. It's 2 versus so many more. So many. Just a ring of smoke around that. So Russia is just sitting back. You can see they did break the Russians did get broken, but they did break the 12-pounders. So the 12-pounders have a excellent range, and if they're non-existent, then more power to them, you know. I still don't see anyone advancing down this road. I don't see. Oh, there we go. So Poland's still pushing here. They have definitely pushed back Russia. Russia is, honestly, I would fall back to this town. You have a river here. You have houses. You have an excellent place to hold the line along the whole border. You are losing on this side against France, so you can fall back to the second high ground position. This is not really high ground as much as it is just a really good position. It's a smaller range of area to defend. Come on, just go down the road. You know you guys want to. These brave souls are like, no bombs too strong for us. Maybe the general will. Oh. Do they see it? That is the question. Do they see this? I feel like they do, because they walked right past it. Which then gives the question, how would you be able to see that? Maybe with a game, it's just one of those things where you can see even if the enemy do it. Because, I mean, it is a big box of, obvious explosives, but, oh well. So Russia has definitely fallen back. They are running to their second line. They have definitely bloodied France, and this is almost like a siege, where if you're defending, you're trying to really just hurt the French as much as possible in your retreats. You have some very fresh units way in the back. Oh, we have a cav engagement. As no, they're not letting these hussars get away. They're like, yeah, you think you're gonna defeat my artillery? Well, I'm just gonna charge you in the back. They definitely did not end well, because they got shot themselves by artillery. That's very unfortunate. Oh, we have some. Oh no, the French went for these 12-pounders. Oh, they're shaking. Oh, they saved them. That is crazy. That was almost really, really bad for the Russians. They need these guns if they want to hold this line. So badly need these guns. Now, you can see Poland is pushing up on the flank. Russia falling back, I would get these guys out of here. You're about to get charged by some Polish cav. That's gonna be a bad day. So the numbers, I would say, are still pretty even. You see Russia still has a backup reserves infantry. The left side being their weakest side. And I don't know if the French alliance knows it or not, but the left side is the weak side. This right flank maybe is weak. I don't know. They have some infantry here to hold it. They have artillery. They have some cav. And definitely want to defend this because this could be the flanking artillery shots that are kind of just wreck the French advance here. Yeah, those Polish just charged. I suspected that would happen. Building captured here. Oh no, come on. Alright, so Dragoons will do very well against Lancers once they start getting into melee, so I'm not too worried about it. They have a general sitting right here. Tormasov, maybe. So France is not just... not France. Russia is not just falling back. They are fighting a retreating battle. They're making sure this does not turn into a rout. They are shooting and then falling back, shooting then falling back. They're letting them, basically they're buying time for the other force to form up in a defensive line. They also have infantry in front of their artillery with a small little gap, and they're shooting straight through it. That is how you place artillery. You don't place it right here. You place it back here so your infantry can fire at it. More artillery setting up way over here. I don't know, are these howitzers? Yes, they are. Howitzers gonna do some mighty work here in this battle. You still have reserve line infantry, some light infantry. Have really good accuracy. We have some artillery now set up at the line. And like I said, they have reserves here. France is formed up in more of a column because this battle is starting to wear on their infantry. They are starting to run low, but they are still being aggressive here. They do need to take some LOCs, I believe. If we look, oh my goodness, here come the French. I don't think it's a number, but I don't know. Each house probably counts as a point. But the cuirassiers are going to be charging out here. Maybe trying to wreck a Russian line. As Russia's going to rush away. Sorry, if I don't crack you up, I'll crack myself up. It's okay. But there are infantry that can form square that are going to be rushing out here to stop this cuirassier attack. And I don't know what they're doing. I would not attack that village right now. Definitely not. N-O-T. Okay, so there is a huge hill here. French still have some heavy cav sitting in the back. They are not really fighting over here. If they need to, they can ship troops over here. But if this is all the French have, I'm not worried about the Russians yet. Now, this still could turn out very bad for the Russians. The French have better morale, they have better shooting capabilities, accuracy, the like such, reloading speed. But the Russians are not going to go down without a fight. They have artillery set up in strong positions. The French artillery is probably way far back. And you can see it's starting to tell on this French line. They are blasting apart the line infantry here. But Poland has not really engaged yet. This is going to be a problem. I'm interested to see what the Russians are going to do. They do have a massive flanking force pushing out here. Some of these guys are very fresh, have not even been fighting, have lost like no men at all. And they are pushing up here to engage the Polish line. Now this is their weak point still. I would move my cuirassiers, if I was France, move my cuirassiers right here, push the infantry, and then smash them with cuirassiers. They cannot form square. There is a river here. You have a couple units. It may hurt, but I think it would force then the French or the Russians to then form back. The only problem I see is that the Russians are really weakening here. These cuirassiers could be better used right here. This side is weakening here. We have some cav now engaging some dragoons, brave enough to stand up to cuirassiers. Oh, they have some backup cav too, so it's not going to matter. These cuirassiers are going to break. Yeah, they got a little too close to the fire and they got singed. But there is more. Don't waste your cav here. Come on, push them up over here. This is where they're needed. Shift them up, push up with the infantry. If there's any that can form square, they will break. And some of these units are so depleted they can't form square. Either that or hit the flank here. Because you're going up against artillery. You're going against artillery. Why are you going against the artillery? You can go against infantry and break the spirit of this army. And they're so far away. Where's their general? Look at this. Dragoons flanking them. They may finally take out some of the artillery, these 12-pounders. No, they're not. They just threw away 2 cav units. I would not have done that. That's just not going to work very well. A long charge like that with heavy cav, you don't want to commit like that. Now, here we go. So the Polish are going to be making a decisive push. Here we go as well. Cav charging in, trying to take out the guns. Russia, jealously, they don't want to lose their guns. They're just defending them with everything they have, all their might. I love this red and blue that the Russians have. Very
Our
epic.
men are running, sir.
And Russia is kind of getting pushed really hard here, though. Poland has started to push into the village. They have pushed across the river. Russia has a full line here of infantry, though. They can start peeling some of it off, maybe flanking. We do see Poland having 6-pounders, setting up maybe even the odds on this side. Russia is starting to break over here, guys. We do have, some Russian cav going for maybe some... Oh, they're going for the 8-pounders that are moving up. That is unfortunate.
Our men are running, sir.
But this village, guys, is going to be a... This is bad. The French are making a push on the flank. This is they're making several solid pushes here. They're just starting to wear down the Russians. Can the Russians make it? Can they hold here? Artillery getting charged by infantry here. Oh, we got some bayonet charge from some grenadiers here. I think they may lose their artillery, though. And Russia is once again going to fall back. They have the reserves shifting over, and France once again has made a very decisive push. They do have artillery sitting on the flank here, though. In fact, they're shifting them over. Where are they going to hold next? This has been a slow retreat. But maybe they're sucking. Now, maybe, hear me out, guys. Maybe they're sucking the French in to then just jump all over them with artillery. Now, we got some sappers and grenadiers fighting for this LOC. They're not just going to let the Polish just take it. Yikes. Got some bloody conflict going on there. Like I said, the Russians still have... I do see French reserves, so this may not be still too great for the Russians. I'm getting a little concerned for the Russians. I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of French and Polish cav still. Or Saxon cuirassiers. Oh, this is a fun battle for sure. We do have howitzers probably firing grape shot here. And my computer's saying that I'm encoding overload, so hopefully it's not lagging out here. But you see the Russians are just losing. They're starting to just lose infantry left and right to the French fire. We've got a bayonet charge as well as a cav charge going against the howitzers. Howitzers going to lose here. They did take this LOC. So this is looking a little grim. The Russians need a miracle now. They are charging for skirmishers on the flank here, so they are doing some work. They have a lot of reserves, actually. So, oh man. I can't predict this battle, guys. I can't, and usually I can't. But usually I have a educated guess. I can't guess who's gonna win this battle yet. The Russians and French are just fighting it out to the bitter end. The French, I think, are throwing away a little bit too much infantry trying to get rid of the guns, and they shouldn't be. They need their infantry. Russia has reserves. Look at all these reserves. These guys are fresh. They've barely been fighting. Almost all of these French infantry are bloodied. They've lost almost half their men. Yes, that is a Medieval 2 reference. Poland's the only one who really hasn't fought that much. And they're going up against some relatively fresh line infantry for Russia. Now, there is a lot of artillery shooting, punching holes in this Russian line. But Poland needs to start really getting in here. If they don't really soon here, they're going to meet in the brunt of the Russian army. Russia is falling back once again here. Oh, some more line infantry charging in. Going for the artillery
Our
piece
men
of
are
Russia.
running, sir.
Here's some cav. Oh, we got some cuirassiers getting charged by dragoons here. They're going for the artillery. They're going to break, though. They have tried repeatedly to deal with this artillery, this 12-pounder, and they have not been able to. So you can see now the Russians were all the way over here, and now they have fallen back so much. Started way over here and just fighting a retreating battle all the way to where they are now. Get an overview. So yeah, isn't it crazy? They started right over here, and then, but they haven't lost, guys. That is the important thing to remember here. They have not lost. They are still fighting the good fight. They still have infantry. They're not breaking. There are men that are wavering or concerned, have voiced their concerns to the general, and now they're going to be told to sit in the back and rest a little bit. Reserves have been pushed up. There's 2 reserves on both sides, but Russia is running a little low on their reserves here. We do have a flanking force maybe pushing out. We got a lot of Russian calves sitting on the flank here. Artillery for these 12-pounders still in action, and I believe there is some reserve artillery, so they're going to put all their artillery on the flank here, maybe try to shoot on the flank. If they get artillery right about here, I'll zoom in so you can see what they'd be shooting. The entire side of the French army. Literally the entire side of the French army. Look at this push, though. Look at this push that France is making. Russia's still trying to desperately hold. They are doing an excellent job of not breaking. I would have honestly lost already as Russia, so these players, props to them. They definitely have shown their generaling. Very good generaling, for sure. Now the artillery is still firing here. Who are they going for? Oh, we got some cav maybe going in. Yep, they're going to go for the flank maybe of... Wait, where are they going? Oh. So there is a massive bayonet charge. You can see by the banners for the Russians and French. See the flags waving. Cav now going to countercharge. Oh my goodness. So much cav and infantry charging in. They're trying to break this whole French line, guys. And a coordinated infantry in cav charge is going to help. And now the dragoons are going to go on the side here, try to stop this side. This is looking risky, though. They have reserves here. But the French have made a very solid push with grenadiers. My goodness, those guys are going to be cutting through the Russian line like butter. But they did countercharge, and now they're going to push up on the flank as Russia is engaging this French line. They're going to push up on the flank, and this could be a massive turning point as the French flank is starting to cave here. Russia is starting to break in the center, though, but these grenadiers are tired. They're probably going to break, but maybe they did enough. Maybe they did enough here. Russia doesn't have any reserves on this side. They're starting to get outshot by the Polish infantry on this side. But the solid push on the right here, that's what you call a countercharge. Oh, we got some Russians going in, charging some line infantry that were not able to form square in time. They chop up these reserves. That can be huge, especially since it's a line infantry general here. Jean Duplin. So looking out at the battlefield, Russia's still strong in the center. They have some cav defending their flank. They have pushed back the Russian, or the French grenadiers. France still has some line infantry to protect their flank. They have some cuirassiers helping to hold this side. Russia has made a push, and now the French, who were right here and pushing, are now back over here. Russia is not going to do well, I think, in this standing shootout with the Polish. So they need their ally to make some moves quickly here. We got a lot of cav, though, for... Oh, we got Davout in the front lines. What is he doing? Davout is going to die, and that is going to cause a morale debuff.
Our men are running,
for
sir.
Who knows how long. Yikes. Watch the morale start to crumble for some of these French. You see, they're fighting. They were okay, but now they are starting to waver. And maybe France is going to start getting charged on the flank here. We got line infantry, some grenadiers going in a last-ditch effort, trying to charge in on this French line here. Oh, that's gonna hurt. As he waited for them to fire, and then he waited so he didn't get volleyed. So France actually is starting to really look a little concerning on this flank here. Russia using their cav very well. These cuirassiers, though, for France are still a problem.
Our men are running.
That's why he pushed up some of his light infantry to maybe try to shoot these cuirassiers. And look at how effective this grenadier charge was. Very effective. But here comes some cuirassiers going for line infantry of Russia. They're going to charge in the flank of these cuirassiers with some of their dragoons. Dragoons are carrying the day for the Russians here, but it's an all-out melee now as Russia is trying to commit here, trying to cave the side of this Polish line, at the same time falling back, leaving maybe some line infantry to sacrifice.
Now they must break.
They did kill another general. This is looking a little bit better for the Russians. French getting their general a little too close, but Poland is still pretty strong here. But Russia's looking pretty strong elsewhere as France is now disintegrating. Their units are running from the battlefield, maybe trying to go all the way back to France. Like, screw Russia, we don't want this. They're going to start falling back. Look at all of them falling back. What's cool is if you had a tactical retreat, some of these guys, like, they will still, they'll run away, but they'll stand and fire if they get pursued. It'd be a cool perk to add. They'll fire, but then they'll fall back and they're not getting pursued. Like, for instance, they would have fired at these Russians advancing, but now they're going to keep falling back. And they still retreat, but they'll save. You know, it'd just be really cool way to do it if the unit is strong enough. Oh, now we got Cav engaging over here. I think that the Polish were not aggressive enough with their Cav. And that may be coming back to now bite them, as Russia now is going to be dealing with Poland by itself. Oh, we do have some Russian Cav getting charged by the Lancers for Prussia here. But I think it's a little too late to try to take this battle back, as now Poland is going to be fighting vast numbers. I mean, look at all the Russians, though, that have lied. Like, this is no way an easy victory for Russia. They did not win very easily here. So Russia is going to start attacking now. This LOC, Poland has it. Poland should start full back to over here. We do have artillery now getting charged. Russia's going to sacrifice their infantry just to ensure that, you know, this artillery is not going to be able to limber up. This guy got knocked down. It's like, all right, let's get back to our guns. But now Russia is just going to start charging in melee, doing what Russia does best, which is their bayonet charges, and they're charging a lot of Polish infantry. Now, there's still some skirmishers sitting over here. They're going to start putting in some flanking fire here, but I don't think that the French alliance has what it takes anymore. I suspect that it will not be enough. Now, Poland is still fighting with their cav over here, but I think they're going to get surrounded here. But they're going to take down some Russians for sure. Ooh. Poor guy. He went airborne.
Our men are running, sir.
He didn't deserve this. Another enemy general dead, the Polish general. So now Poland is gonna, start seeing infantry wavering. They did stop the bayonet charge of Russia, but now it's just don't need the mini map anymore because this battle is over. They do have the artillery still, but it's probably not going to matter a whole lot. Oh, we got Cav charging in the back lines. Look how hazy this battlefield is, though. Just how hazy it is. I just think it's so cool. We got the Polish still forming up by this birch now. They are not breaking for anyone. They will, though. They will. Oh, look at these guys going all in. Look at this guy with the sword. Look at that. I know it's a little laggy, but, you know, it's only time to get cinematic shots when you know it's over. The Polish are going to try to hold as best they can. Got some hand-to-hand combat. Ooh, just got stabbed. Ooh, on both sides. This is brutal. Infantry back here trying to give supporting fire. And now they are going to be meleeed as well. Got a Lancer even getting in there. And the Polish army is falling into ruin here. France was trying to hold this LOC. It's not going to be much left here. Russia had just had so many reserves, guys. The reserves were mighty in this battle. And yeah, I'm gonna fast forward here because it's just a bayonet charge here. But it is so cool to see how a battle can just change from the Russians being way over here and falling back all the way to where they made their stand and were able to push out, which is all the way here. I mean, they held right here, guys. This is their final push or their final fallback point. This was where it was like, there's no retreat from here. We're going to fight. I mean, I'm sure they would have retreated again if they needed to. But then the flanking attack on the side when France, went in with the Grenadiers, they had charged the flank at the same time. And it was that counter charge that did so much work here. So, such a good battle. I mean, like I said, I'm just fast forwarding here so we can get to the end stats. I'm kind of curious how much France and Russia both brought. This one was sent in by Implex. You can see Russia. So this was the Cav Corps chainmail. Playing as the Cav Corps, only 695 men, but you know, killed a good amount of infantry in Cavs. Let's see, the French 23, 25, 15. This is Murat bringing the cuirassiers. Let's see what the kills were. So, got a good amount of kills on each. Obviously, there was a couple that didn't do as well. Probably some of them were in reserves. Oh, they lost a lot, so. Good battle, though. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was very close. Man, who got the most losses? These guys did good. Yeah, that was an excellent battle. Very well. I'm sure you guys, for those of you who don't know, on Discord I made an announcement, kind of on a side note. I'm going to be doing a replay competition. I want the closest replay, like down to the wire replay that you've ever had. I'm going to be posting them all on my YouTube channel, and I will title them as that competition. I don't have any reward except for bragging rights to say, you know, I had the best replay. So if you want to, you can send that through my Discord. I do have the link of my Discord in the description. You can also message me or email me. I don't check my email as much because no one really emails me ever. But you can send that in Discord, and I will put it up, say who sent it in the title. And yeah, looking forward to doing that. There's not really a time frame at this point. So hope you guys enjoyed. Y'all have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and I will catch you all in another video.